Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Anne and this is my very first reading vlog. This week I'm participating in the Reading Rush, formerly known as the Booktubeathon, which is the readathon running from the 22nd of July until the 28th of July. And I figured this was a good opportunity for me to try my hand at reading vlogs. It's now Monday and it's about 6:30 in the evening and I just got home from work. I haven't done any reading yet because, like I said, I was at work, but I plan on making dinner and I think I'm going to watch an episode of Queer Eye, or perhaps one day at a time, and then I am going to sit down on the sofa, maybe have a cup of tea or something cold because it's very hot, and I'm going to read. So I figured I'd show you my TBR for the Reading Rush quickly in this first clip. I've got 4 books I want to read, which will be fulfilling all of the prompts. There are 7 prompts or challenges for the Reading Rush. I've got them here in my bullet journal. I made a little spread type thing, or basically it's just one page, so I'm not sure if you can call that a spread. But I've got my Reading Rush TBR here, and then the boxes which I'll color in as I move through the books. So first on my TBR, and this is also the book I'll be picking up in about an hour or so, is Stardust by Neil Gaiman, which a lot of people are reading this month because apparently it's the book for the Book Junkie Trials readathon that everybody is reading together, but I didn't know that when I picked this out. This will be, let me just check, this will be fulfilling the challenges for a book with a purple cover, read a book in the same place the entire time, and read and watch a book to movie adaptation. So this is definitely purple. I'll be reading it over there in that corner, which I'll show you later. And I have already made plans with a friend of mine to watch the film for Stardust later this week on Thursday. I've got it here already, I borrowed it from another friend. So that will be fun, I think. I've heard good things about this film, so I'm looking forward to watching it. But first I want to read the book, obviously. Then I've got The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa, which will fulfill the prompt of read a book with a non-human main character. And the main character of this is a cat, so that fits. I have a physical copy of this, as you can see, but I do also have access to the audiobook, so I think I might be listening to this on audio to make things easier for myself, because I've got 4 books on this TBR and reading 4 books in a week is a bit much for me. So an audiobook would be great. Perhaps I'll even listen to the first couple of pages while I'm preparing my dinner. Then the third book on my TBR is The Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes. This will be fulfilling 2 prompts. The first one is read a book with a title that's 5 or more words, and this is exactly 5 words. And the second prompt is to read a book you meant to read last year, and that this definitely fits that as well, because I picked this up last year, I think, intending, or maybe even the year before, but I intended to read it quickly, and I didn't. And then the last book on my TBR, which is also the one that makes this quite a challenge, I think, is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I've been meaning to read the Grisha trilogy, which this is the first book of for a while now, and I had 1 prompt left for the Reading Rush, which was read an author's first book, and this is Leigh Bardugo's first book, I believe, so it was kind of perfect, but it is over 400 pages long, I believe, or almost 400 pages, I'm not sure, so it will be quite a challenge, but I think it will be quite a quick read as well, so I'm looking forward to this too. So yeah, that's my TBR. I hope I'll be able to read all of these books. My boyfriend is on holiday this week with his brother, so I don't have a lot of distractions, so technically I do have a lot of time to read, ideally. I have made some plans in the evenings with friends, but I think I will have a lot of time to read. But this is also my last week of work at my current job. After that I will have 3 weeks off and then I'll be starting my new job. So it's kind of a weird week in the sense that my boyfriend isn't at home. We live together, so he's usually here. And it's the last week of work, so I'll just have to see how things go this week. But I am looking forward to it, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, I think that's quite enough for the first clip. I'm going to make some dinner now and I'll get back to you a bit later. Hi, I'm back. Okay, I'm not going to lie, I am having a really hard time staying awake on my sofa reading while it's pretty warm and stuffy inside. So I moved to my balcony where it's really delightful now in terms of temperature and a nice breeze. It's getting really hot this week, like 36 degrees, 37 degrees Celsius, so I'm just enjoying the weather while I still can. I've only read about 25 pages of Stardust, the first chapter, before I got really tired. It's been a long day, but I think I'm going to sit here and try reading at least one more chapter, perhaps even two. I just also realized that by doing so I'll be failing the read this book in one spot challenge, but I just have to sit outside for a while and I don't feel like starting a new book after only having read one chapter of this. So I'll just move the prompt for reading the same book in the same spot to, I think, The Sense of an Ending, which is even shorter than this one. So that will be more doable, and once it gets really hot outside, I won't want to sit on my balcony anyway. So yeah, I have my cup of tea here, I've got my book. I'm just going to keep reading now while the sun sets over there. I'll check in with you again later. Okay, so this is my final check-in for the night. I was hoping to get to page 100 this first night. Stardust is 200 pages. I was about to say words, that would be a very short book. But yeah, Stardust is 200 pages or something, so it's not a long book. I hope to get to 100 tonight and then finish it tomorrow, but I don't think that will be happening because I got to page 57 tonight and I'm just too tired to keep reading. I think I'm going to watch some Queer Eye or perhaps some other people's reading vlogs and then maybe read another chapter tomorrow, but I'm unexpectedly going to work tomorrow, and then in the evening I'm going to watch a movie with a friend. So I might be able to read a chapter or maybe two when I get home from that, but I don't think I'll be able to get much reading done. So yeah, 57 pages for the first day. It isn't great, but it's something, and I'm not going to push myself any further because my eyes have stopped focusing. Okay, see you tomorrow. Hello. It's now Tuesday, it's almost 7 o'clock. I'm about to leave to go see a movie with a friend. We're going to see Yesterday, that movie about what would happen if no one remembered the Beatles but one person, so it seems a bit silly, but I'm excited to see it. Last night I didn't get a lot of reading done. After I last checked in with you, I actually listened to about 15 minutes of the Traveling Cat Chronicles, which I have right here, and I listened to another 15 minutes just now. I'm really enjoying it. I listened to the prologue yesterday and I really liked that because it was told from the perspective of the cat and the narrator was really fun. He really managed to get that sarcastic cat voice right. So that was nice, but the first chapter is not told from the perspective of the cat, but actually from, I believe, the person he's going to live with, or yeah, something like that. That's still interesting, but not as much fun as reading from the perspective of the cat himself. Yes, it's a him. So I hope that perspective returns. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. It's a really quick audiobook. I've listened to half an hour now and I've got 3.5 hours left. But yeah, this is fun. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about my thoughts on Stardust so far. I read another chapter after getting home. This afternoon I got home at 5 o'clock or something like that, and the first thing I did was eat an ice lolly because it's really hot here and I and it was hot at my office as well. But then I read another chapter of this, and I'm now at page 85, so almost halfway through. I am enjoying this, but I think right now I'd say it's at 3 stars for me. I like this story, I like the whimsical nature of the story and the fairy tale-esque vibe it has, but with the whole fairy tale thing also comes a few things I don't really like that much. Unexplainable things, like a creature showed up at the start of the chapter I just read and it's not explained where he came from. I guess that's part of the whimsical nature as well, but I just want to know what's happening. And another thing I'm not really enjoying, and perhaps it's nitpicking, perhaps it comes with the genre as well of the fairy tale, is that the women aren't represented very well in this book. If they're represented at all, up until now there are no major female characters. I think that's about to change based on what I just read and what I know about the story, but the women we've seen so far are all talked about in a very othering way. You know, the men are the default and the women are different. At one point, one woman was described, I think the only thing that was said about her was she had dark eyes and small breasts, and that was completely irrelevant to the story. Why do we have to know how big her breasts are? I think a lot of people wouldn't even notice that or care about that, but that's just something I've grown really tired of over the years, and it's something I pick up on really quickly and get annoyed by really quickly, just how women are described, how they are portrayed. So I really hope that gets better. I guess you could say, like I said, it's because this is basically a fairy tale or a fable or something like it, so that's part of the genre, but I don't think that's an excuse. I haven't read anything by Neil Gaiman other than this, so I don't know how he writes and what his stories are like in his other books and how they treat women. But so far, it's just a bit annoying. It doesn't put me off the story entirely, but it's just those small things that then happen that just piss me off a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, that's my thoughts on Stardust so far. I think I'll be home at like 10 p.m. Perhaps I'll be able to read a little bit more then, but I'm not sure. I might be tired and just watch some Netflix or YouTube or something like that. Tomorrow I have the day off though, so I hope to finish this tomorrow and perhaps also start another book. I also plan on going to the bookstore tomorrow morning. It's going to be crazy hot tomorrow. It's like 35 degrees I think it's going to be. So I'm going to get up early, go to the bookstore, do some groceries, and then just stay inside. Got ready. I'm about to go to the bookstore. I don't really have anything special to get there, but I thought it would be fun footage for the vlog, if it's not too busy at least. I don't think I'll feel comfortable filming if there are a lot of people around, but it's a Wednesday and it's like 10 a.m. now, so I don't think it will be very busy. It's also getting warm outside already, so I just want to get there and get back quickly to get it over with and then not go out of the house again. Plus it gives me a nice excuse to maybe buy a book or two and do a tiny book haul in this vlog. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I'm now back from the bookstore. I'm sorry if I look sweaty and gross, but I feel sweaty and gross. So at least it will be an accurate representation, I guess. I didn't end up buying the Schwab books. I'm not sure if I put in the clip of me whispering in the bookstore, but I was looking at the Shades of Magic series, as well as the Vicious and Vengeful duology, I believe. I really want to read the Shades of Magic series, but for some reason I didn't want to buy them yet. Maybe because I still have quite a few fantasy books to read, and I often buy fantasy books and then leave them on my shelves for a really long time. But anyway, I didn't buy those books for some reason, but I did end up buying 3 other books. They're packaged nicely, so they stay neat. And I'll just do a mini book haul for you now. So the first book I picked up is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. It's very shiny, so apologies for that. I've been wanting to read this for a while now. I know it has gotten some mixed reviews, but I really like Hank Green. This is his first book, but he is one half of the Vlogbrothers, together with John Green, if you did not know. And I think this premise sounds really interesting, but this is a simple paperback. But every time I looked at it in the store, it was over 20 euros, which is really expensive for a paperback, in the Netherlands at least, for an English paperback. So I didn't want to buy it for that money, but then today I found it at the discount spot thing with 50% off, and it still looks fine. So I immediately picked it up, and then later I found a smaller paperback with the newer books, about half the size of this book. No, that's not true, about this size. So that explains why this was now 50% off, I guess. This book deals with the repercussions of social media and influencers, I believe. It says, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing grapples with big themes, including how the social internet is changing fame, rhetoric and radicalization, how our culture deals with fear and uncertainty, and how vilification and adoration spring from the same dehumanization that follows a life in the public eye. So yeah, that sounds interesting to me, so I hope I'll be able to pick this up soon-ish. So the second book I picked up is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I've never read this, but I know a lot of people who have read and have loved this. So it's always kind of been at the back of my mind as one of those classics that I really still want to read. I also think it's really cool that Mary Shelley is basically the first sci-fi writer. She invented the genre with this book. So yeah, I really want to read this. I've heard so many good things. It feels like one of those books that I have to have read, but it's also one of those books that I really want to have read. So yeah, excited to pick this up. And then the last book I picked up is White Sargasso Sea by Jean Rhys, I think you pronounce the name. This book has been on my radar for quite some time as well. I wasn't planning on picking it up, but then I was browsing through the books and I saw it and grabbed it and basically walked to the register with these 3 books right away. This is inspired by Jane Eyre. I don't want to spoil Jane Eyre. How am I going to do this? If you haven't read Jane Eyre and want to, and haven't been spoiled yet, even though it's a book from, I don't know, a long time ago, then mute this for a little bit, I guess, until the next clip. But this book is about the first Mrs. Rochester. If you have read Jane Eyre, then you'll know that Mr. Rochester has a secret wife who he has locked up in his attic, which is problematic. But she is described as the mad wife. She's crazy and she lashes out and she's a danger to society, basically. But this book tells her story. She's from Jamaica. That becomes clear in Jane Eyre as well, I think. And we get to know her life before she became Mrs. Rochester, I think. I'll just read the back to you. If Antoinette Cosway, a spirited Creole heiress, could have foreseen the terrible future that awaited her, she would not have married the young Englishman. Initially drawn to her beauty and sensuality, he becomes increasingly frustrated by his inability to reach into her soul. He forces Antoinette to conform to his rigid Victorian ideals, unaware that in taking away her identity, he is destroying a part of himself, as well as pushing her towards madness. That sounds really interesting, and I really love Jane Eyre, but of course the whole first wife locked in the attic is really problematic, and I really like that someone has written a book about her. So I hope to pick this up soon. It's pretty short, and if it's written in the past tense, which I think it will be, yeah, I just checked, it's written in past tense. I think I'm going to pick this up for the Magical Readathon Newts edition, which starts on the 1st of August. One of the prompts I have to fulfill, I think it's for Ancient Runes, is read a book in the past tense, and this seems like the perfect book since it's short as well. So yeah, that's my tiny book haul. I also went to the grocery store to pick up some things like a big piece of watermelon for me and the guinea pigs. They love watermelon. It's now 11:30 and I don't have to leave the house again today, which is good because it's already pretty hot out there. Anyway, enough rambling. I'm going to read now. I listened to about 30 pages of the Traveling Cat Chronicles this morning during breakfast, but now I'm going to continue reading Stardust and just sit on the sofa and relax for a while and not do too much. I hope to finish Stardust today. It's not one of those books that I really feel like, yes, I can continue reading Stardust now, but it is kind of interesting, so I hope I'll get into it more as I continue reading. I'm just here taking a quick break from finishing Stardust to tell you what an idiot I am. I'm sitting here thinking about how hot it is, complaining about how hot it is over text to my friends, calling my mother to complain about how hot it is. All the while forgetting that I have a fan that I could just turn on. It's now right over there. But it wasn't up until like 5 minutes ago. And it's so much better with that thing on. I was getting really dizzy because of the heat, because I really can't deal with the heat. It gives me major anxiety. I've been worrying about it for the entire week and the weekend as well. And I just get dizzy and all around miserable from the heat. But the fan is really helping. And now, hopefully, I'll finally be able to finish this. I'm getting really distracted the entire time. Partly because of the heat, partly because of Twitter, and partly because I'm just not really fully into the story. But it's enjoyable. I still think it's about a 3-star read for me. Still excited to see the film, which I'll be doing tomorrow. But first, I have to finish the damn thing. So I think it's about 4:30. I'm not sure actually. But I just finished Stardust finally, a little bit later than I was hoping to finish it, but like I said before, I got distracted very easily and very frequently. But yeah, I've now finished it, so that means I've now finished the first book of the Reading Rush on day 3, which is a little late, but is still fine. It's all fine. I'm giving this 3 stars like I expected I would. Towards the ending, I did start to like it a little bit more, and I enjoyed it. I thought it had some nice fairy tale aspects. I liked how a lot of the things that were set out at the beginning or all of the things actually really came together and were all tied up quite satisfyingly, to me at least. Is satisfyingly a word? Satisfactory. Yikes. Okay. It's hot, okay? My brain doesn't work completely. It's melted. I really like the whimsical nature of the book. At first I wasn't sure if I liked that, but in the end I ended up really loving it. But for some reason it didn't completely grab me until maybe the last 2 chapters. So yeah, this will be a 3-star for me, but I'm really looking forward to watching the film, which I'll be doing tomorrow with a friend of mine for the read and watch a book to film adaptation. Because I think this story is really well suited for the big screen. I've also seen some people say that the film is actually better than the book, so my expectations are definitely raised. But yeah, I'm excited to watch it. The next book I'm going to pick up is The Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes. I think I'm going to pick it up a little later because my eyes are a little tired now from all the reading I've done. I think I'm going to watch some reading vlogs or maybe some Queer Eye or something else. And then I'm going to order a pizza later. And I think I'll be reading some more after dinner. This must be the most unflattering shot I've ever taken. So, if you're wondering how I'm doing, like this basically. It's now 26.5 degrees in the house and I just had to spot clean, is that what it's called? The guinea pig's cage. So basically sweep up all the poop and then make them some food, which meant I had to leave this sofa, which was not something I really wanted to do. Since I last spoke to you, I edited my video. It's my TBR for the Nudes Readathon. So yeah, I edited that and then I ordered pizza, which is not arriving yet. I think the pizza place is having a very busy time today because I think there are many more people in this city who are not feeling like cooking. It's also very fortunate that I'm not going to be seeing anybody else again today because I ordered a pizza with 1/2 tuna and red onion, and the other half is chicken kebab and garlic sauce and more red onion. So yeah, I'm gonna smell. I'm gonna be stinky. Once my pizza arrives, I think I'm going to watch some Queer Eye, and I'm considering starting Crazy Ex-Girlfriend because I've heard good things about that, and then hopefully I'll be able to do some more reading after dinner. I'm excited to start reading The Sense of an Ending, but yeah, we'll see how I'm doing by then, because right now I'm kind of dizzy because of the heat. I'm also not looking forward to having to go into work again on Friday, which will be my last day of work, but it's also going to be 35 degrees or something then, and my office doesn't have air conditioning and is underneath a flat roof, so it basically gets as hot as it is outside but with less oxygen. So yeah, that's gonna be fun, but I still have tomorrow and tonight before that happens, so it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Anyway, I'm going to hope my pizza is going to arrive soon. Check you later. Hello, I'm back again. So I'm still pretty much in the same spot. I've had my pizza, which you saw. I had to wait for about 2 hours for it because apparently today was a get the second pizza for free at Domino's, and like I said multiple times, the weather is really crazy today in terms of heat, so I think a lot of people didn't feel like cooking today, just like me. So yeah, they were a bit overloaded at the Domino's I usually order, and I had to wait for 2 hours. So that wasn't fun, but I had a few grapes and some crisps in between. And now my tummy is full, so it's all fine. So for the rest of the evening, it's now 9 o'clock. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to start The Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes, like I said. I'm quite excited to read this. I've been wanting to read this for years, actually. Then I also still have The Traveling Cat Chronicles, which I've been listening to and at times reading along with it, which is kind of fun. I've never done that before. I usually either listen to an audiobook or read a physical book, because usually I don't listen to audiobooks if I have the physical copy, because that just seems like a waste of money to me. But for this one, it just worked out like this during the reading rush. So I'll probably listen to some more of this tonight. But I also might just give in and watch some more Queer Eye, because I love Queer Eye. The new season was released last week, and I've seen the first 3 or 4 episodes, I think. So I still have some to go, and that's just the perfect way to relax. I think I'm going to cut off this vlog here. I already have quite some footage, so I think I'm just gonna cut it off here. It's Wednesday today, so we've got about 4 more days. We've got 4 more days. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to be doing the next couple of days. I know I'll be reading tomorrow. It's going to be 37 degrees again tomorrow, and I'll be working my last day on Friday, and then my boyfriend comes home from his holiday on Saturday evening, so I don't know how much reading I'll be doing on Sunday, but we'll see. I guess that vlog will be a surprise for me as much as it will be for you. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this vlog. I managed to finish 1 book in the first half of the reading rush, which is not a lot, but you know, I'm in it for the long haul, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish Shadow and Bone as well as the other 2 books I'm still reading, but maybe tomorrow will be a better reading day for me than today. And I've got a lot of time to read on Saturday as well, so I guess we'll see. I'm just gonna end this now because I feel like I'm rambling. Thanks so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of me, and have a nice day. Bye.